this chapter is a milestone for Boku no Hero Academia, with Stain as a villain defeated. I think we can all say he is probably going to be tough to beat. When it comes to anti-villains, anti-heroes, whatever, villains, enemies of the series, I think we can all agree that it's going to be quite tough to beat Stain. After the actions we have witnessed him do in this chapter, last chapter, chapter before that, to the chapter he was introduced, he continuously made himself even more badass. Badass motherfucker. That's what Stain was. And he continuously moved up into my personal rankings of characters of Boku no Hero Academia. And after witnessing such a good villain, one of our first major villains that, was for a given arc, this is definitely a good milestone for the series. And it makes me wonder, can this villain be beat in terms of quality? That is my biggest worry. Because when it comes to long-running series, when it comes to villains in general, sometimes the writer has to rehash their villains where they continuously make the villains kind of the exact same carbon copy of what was a really good villain. And I really do hope that we don't have more villains that are exactly like Stain. Because Stain was so unique and so good, and he was fresh. He was definitely fresh and shown in what I've read recently. And I just hope that we get something better than Stain in the future, since this was our first major glimpse of a main, supervillain. We got our first glimpse at, a villain like Stain. It also makes me wonder if we will get someone that can top him, his feats, his quality as a character, and not feel like a rehash. That's the only thing I want to briefly mention real quick. So, besides that, the chapter. Chapter 56 of Boku no Hero. Oh man, this chapter was hype-inducing. I was reading the chapter, and I was just sitting there chugging my coffee while watching, or not watching. I might as well have been watching, because the panels were fucking so good, actually. Just the quality of the art looked so good, it looked like I was watching a freaking anime. But back on topic, when I was reading the panels, I was just, chugging my coffee, and I was getting so into reading, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so fucking good. That hype build up, when you see Stain get back up, and he talks about how, everybody's phonies, they're fake. He's talking about how villains just love to throw out and showcase their power, they're not really that good of villains, and he's also saying how heroes are just fakes. He was pretty much shitting on both sides. He was shitting on villains and heroes, and it just really goes to show you what type of person he is, and why I respect him as a character so much. Because he wasn't just against heroes, he was against villains. For instance, he's tired of villains just wanting to show off their power and go against society. He wants villains to have a really strong motive that goes against a hero. And that is something I really appreciated when it came to this chapter, was what he said, his final speech before he collapsed and his lung got punctured and he fell down. We come to find out Stain is not dead. I'm thankful for that. I'm really thankful Stain is not dead. And if I had to do some predictions, Fury crafting and stuff, I want to assume there's going to come a time, some way down the future, sometime, maybe 100 chapters from now, if Boku no Hero Academia continues to do good and continues to increase its quality, I'm willing to bet about 100, maybe 50, maybe 150, maybe 200, somewhere around there. I want to bet in that many chapters, there will come a time to where Stain might need to come out and help our heroes. For instance, I feel like since Stain was so good of a character, it would kind of be a waste if he was killed off and he wasn't really used again, because he's such a good character. And I think the fans of Boku no Hero Academia, I don't know how Japan is reacting to Stain, but I'm going to assume it's pretty damn good for Boku no Hero continuously having color pages and stuff like that. So, I'm just assuming. But to see how Stain was so good, and he seems to be a fan favorite character of us right now, us, readers, I think that goes to say that he most likely will stick around for a while and will be used again for future arcs, which I do hope that happens, because he has so much potential to grow as a person and also kickstart some really good arcs in the future, maybe make Izuku go down a path of anti-hero, anti-villain, or, different things like that. But for now, before I even get into those type of theories, let's just admire the beautiful artwork in this chapter. Like, I almost shit a brick, right? You know what? I did shit a brick. I fucking shit a brick when I saw Stain remove his bandage around his, like, face. And you see his face for real. We finally see his full face. Oh my. His nose is gone. His fucking nose is gone. His nose is gone. Stain, man. The design alone. Like, people make fun of Stain. I've seen it many times in the comments from Chibits saying, like, he looks like a Ninja Turtle. I've seen Chibits mention this. And I won't deny in some ways he does kind of look like that. But we can't say he looks like a freaking Ninja Turtle after this. I mean, look what his face looked like, dude. He looked like a damn zombie. His face was filleted off. And it makes me wonder who did that. Who cut Stain's face? Like, who did that shit to him? Like, his nose was cut off. So, whatever happened in the past, whoever did that to Stain probably was either a villain that he fought when he was a hero, or something else entirely. Whatever it was, I'm willing to bet whatever happened to his face has connections to why he is like he is, and why he fights for his motivation of changing the way the world operates with heroes and villains. I'm assuming it has something to do with his face. But one thing I will give credit to Stain even more that was impressive, besides just what he has done previously, he scares the shit out of pro heroes. Like, Stain gets up, man. His face looks like shit. Like, I mean, not because his nose is cut off, you know, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he looks like shit because he got the shit knocked out of him. And he raises up, and he starts talking. He looks at Endeavor, and he's like, you phony. I mean, you see this aura pop off of him, like he is just so mad. And he's like, I'm about to kick your ass, Endeavor. Like, if this rib doesn't puncture my lung, you're a dead man. That's what Stain was thinking. And to see that, once again, more respect. Straight up, just fucking blew out of proportion right there. I'm like, oh my god, Stain, he's taking on Endeavor. That's crazy, man. And then the aura around him, when you saw everybody just shivering, like they were shitting themselves because they saw this aura coming off of Stain. They're like, whoa, calm down, bro. That's what everybody was saying, like, calm down, calm your shit. I know you're mad, just calm your shit. And yeah, that was really the chapter besides the investigation. So let's talk about the investigation. We come to find out, or get introduced to a new character that is the police chief. And this police chief looks like a dog. And first impressions, he's a fucking dog. Like, he's a dog. And he says with the dialogue, I don't know if the translations are accurate or not. We have no idea. But he says he's a human, but he looks like a dog. I'm going to assume it's some form of quirk that he has that changed his outer appearance to a dog. Maybe he has a shape-shifting ability. Maybe he has a mask on. Maybe he can change his face to look like a different types of creatures. I mean, there's all sorts of quirks out there. Maybe it's something to do with that. But the later half of the chapter, besides the Stain bit, was just pretty much saying the arc is over, we're moving on, we're getting into something more extreme, and this was just a precursor to what you should expect from Boku no Hero Academia. And I like it. I really, really, really like this chapter and this arc. Definitely a great way. You know, in some ways, it seems a little bit kind of disheartening how it kind of ended, because I expected a little bit more. It was still a great way to end an arc. And so I really have not much complaints. I really don't. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below, how you all feel about this week's chapter of Boku no Hero. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.